get ready, okay? And it's probably going to come at you pretty quickly. So get ready, people of Texas. Get ready, people of any state. It doesn't really matter, but get ready for what's coming your way. I don't know how we didn't see this one coming, but prepare yourself. I do have a solution, though. It's a really simple comeback, but get ready. A lot of high school football games, let me just set it up this way. A lot of them, certainly in Texas. I mean, like if there's a market for money to be made in high school sports, it's high school football in the state of Texas. More so than any other place, probably by far. So I'll even use kind of a high-end example of that. But a lot of high school games are on the radio or streaming in some capacity. Some are on regional television. Some, probably once a week, there's a game or two that's put on ESPN or one of the spinoff channels. So, there are games that are out there for you to watch, probably some basketball as well. Okay? And all of them are practically, no, not all. A lot of them are available on streaming platforms or apps in some capacity, right? The school board puts it out there, or the fill-in-the-blank club puts it out there. So there's media that is out there. And there's a point for me bringing this up. A lot of districts have deals with Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, Champion. I don't know how much money they get if it's not just equipment, but they have something going on, particularly in larger school districts in Texas and probably California and Florida. So where am I going with this? They want to get paid, and they're suing you. Yep, they're suing. The question is, should they, I said high school athletes, and they're suing, trying to get class action status. Prepare yourselves, taxpayers. Should they get paid? I mean, I can make their case for them, and then I have a very simple solution to all of it. But it's a simple math equation, to be honest with you. So high school kids, their parents, and their agents, they want to be in the entertainment business. They're saying, we've been in the entertainment business. They are taking the argument of college football and basketball players. Even though they've hijacked an argument, it's not. None of this, for the most part, is following the original case that started this whole litigation cesspool. But they say, we've been in the entertainment business. You've been selling our rights. So we want to get paid. I have a solution. I mean, it's such a simple comeback to all of it. But get ready for this. This is a new fight. And like everything else in the formerly amateur, but now sort of professional, but not completely professional landscape of college and now high school athletics, right? They want to be professionals, but not complete professionals. We're not amateurs, but we kind of want some amateur stuff. That kind of setup, right? I think it's all driven by lawyers. I do. I don't believe for a second anywhere that a high school kid, certainly not a current high school kid, says, you know what, if you keep showing my games on an app that's sponsored by Fred's local Ford dealership, you got to pay me. I don't believe for a second there's a high school athlete out there that is thinking in those terms. I'm not sure mom or dad or uncle is thinking in those terms, but somebody is in their ear. And somebody said, those college players got $20 billion or $2 billion spread out over time. They got that money. You should get some too. And mom and dad said, yeah, right on. Let's go. And so here they come. What I'm not hearing is, do the kids in the band get paid? I mean, what exactly are high school? I mean, how do you classify high school athletics? I mean, are we really ready to say you aren't? It's not extracurricular. It's not like the debate club. It's not like being in the band. It's not like being in the drill team or go chess club or robotics, which is huge and marketable. So they're all amateurs, but somehow, some way, football players are to be considered professionals? Huh. Well, Defined how exactly? Oh, you put the games on TV, you put the games on radio, you put the games on a streaming app. Okay, well, good. I have a solution. So here's the story, and you can get ready that it's coming your way. I don't know that you're going to care yet, but you can react to this right now because it's pretty obnoxious, and there's such an easy comeback to all of this. And the people on the sports side either hide in the sand and don't want it to happen, or they are driven by rich guys who want college programs to keep handing out money, or some combination of both. But if somebody had an ounce of business sense that knew the entertainment business, they could solve this whole thing in one simple sentence. Here we go. Reuters is reporting now that California's governing body for high school sports, along with several media companies, are facing a new lawsuit for allegedly depriving student athletes of their rightful pay from broadcasts, ticketing, and other revenue. This is so easy to fix. I mean, this is a piece of cake. The lawsuit, filed in federal court, taxpayers, by a former high school football player, challenged rules restricting payments to athletes. The California Interscholastic Federation's members include more than 1,600 public and private high schools in California. The lawsuit appears to be the first, but I don't think it's going to be the last. You're going to get a heavy dose of this. The lawsuit appears to be the first class action in the United States seeking to unleash compensation for the commercial use of the names, images, and likeness of potentially hundreds of thousands of current and former high school athletes. Okay. Sure. Easy to fix. Not a problem. So they want to get paid for their performance. Let me just make sure we're straight on this. If we're to believe the lawyers and the agents and the uncles and the fake agents and everybody else in what they now want to say is commercialized high school sports. Okay? Just so you know, their basic argument, if they want to steal the original court case, which nobody seems to have any clue exactly how that worked, but the original court case was all about, rightfully so, okay? But if we're to use this, Ed O'Bannon was his name, and he said, I'm playing basketball at UCLA. I'm pretty famous, and I keep seeing my name and number pop up in a video game. I should get paid for that. Worked its way through the court system, and the court said, yes, you should. And that sensible, decent ruling ended up being hijacked by college sports and sugar daddies of college sports and athletes and hangers-on, and said, well, that means we can give them some money to play. And so the thing is just taken on a life of its own. And so now you just project that down to high school, and now you have hundreds of thousands of them saying, you guys owe me. I don't know who's representing them. You can make one phone call, and you have this thing solved in no time. All of it, especially high school athletics. So that's what they're arguing now. Now, stop for a second. You cannot say some high school games are not on TV. You can't say they're not on the radio. They're not on streaming apps. They are. And they sell advertising for them. They do. I don't think a lot of merch is sold, but you also can't deny that there are ticket sales. Okay? I mean, they're not huge, but, there's people, you don't get in free to a high school game, or at least most people don't get in free to a high school game, maybe the high school students, but everyone else pays. So you can start to work some math in your own head, and I would encourage you to do that so we can settle this, because I think there's a really easy comeback. I think this one's solved in no time, and I think the lawyers and the uncles and the moms and dads hide pretty quickly. So they want to be paid for their performance. They want to be paid for the transactions that have taken place around their high school sports. And if you're laughing out loud, I don't blame you, because those transactions are not very big. Some are, but not everybody is a giant 6A high school that puts 8,000 people in a stadium on a Friday night every Friday night. So let's use the grotesque number of 8,000 people watch a high school game every Friday. Okay? So let's work our way through this because it's going to circle back to you. I don't think there's any way that taxpayers are on the hook here. I really don't see how. But you at least should think it's pretty gross. So number one, being on the football team, soccer team, volleyball team, or the band, or the debate team, or the robotics team, which is a big deal, are you saying, kids, uncle, dad, fake agent, are you saying you want that to be a job? You want to be contract labor. Is that what you're saying? So you want to be a 1099 to be on the football team. Now, if I'm in robotics, do I get a 1099 there too? Just want to make sure we're clear on what it is you guys want. So you want it to be a job. Okay, got it. Check. All right, we'll do that. Now, we do know this, that a high school kid, whether they're in the robotics team, whether they are a cheerleader, whether they're a soccer player or a high school football player, somehow high school football players have a different life. If you notice this in all these court cases, if you play football, you have a different life and a different job description than everybody else. But you can get a job, okay? You can. No one is depriving you of the right to earn money. No one. If it means you don't play football, then I guess you sweep floors and that's what you need to do to earn money, or you design software, whatever it is you do. You don't have to be in a robotics team. If you just can't afford it, then that's cool. You don't have to be on the robotics team. You could go earn a living doing something else, right? So why, I don't know, why would the robotics team be different than a football player? Why would the chess team, I know you're laughing, why would that person who goes after school to do whatever, how would they be different than a football player in high school? Why is the football player 1099 and the robotics person is not? Okay? I don't get why football players only now want to be classified as sort of employees or contractors. Please answer that. And so as for getting paid, here we go. Now, this is how this whole thing is. College football could have done it too, but they don't want to. The ultra rich don't want to provide the very simple solution to everything. And you can follow the NFL model perfectly. In fact, you can use the same numbers. This is all you have to do. You can use the exact same number that the NFL Players Association uses. And that's about 34%. Okay? Remember that number, 34%. That's what they work on, 34%. Tell the high school guys the same thing. You know what? You guys are right. Let's do revenue sharing. You're right. It's a good point. You got us. Yeah, okay. You know what? You guys ought to do the same thing the NFL does because you're kind of like the NFL. So let's work on 34%. Let's do that. Okay? Deal? We got a deal, everyone? So they want to get paid on media. They want to get paid on ticket sales. That's their list. That's what they're saying they want to get paid on. High school players. And they're suing to get paid like that. So the answer, the simple fix. And I've been in the NFL during a strike. And there's arguments about, you know what? Revenue sharing. That's what the arguments are about. And they're good ones too. So we might have to argue a little bit here, but I say we use the same number for high school kids that you would use for NFL players. So you turn around and respond this way. You know what? Dad, mom, lawyer, fake agent, predatory lender, all of you. You know what? You are right. You're right. There's 400 people that came to your game on Thursday night. You're exactly right. We even looked it up. You know how much we did on ad sales for your game last Thursday night? We did $600. You're right. You're very commercialized. So we're going to work with these numbers. Create a model just like other entertainment industries. Create a model just like the NFL. Throw this right back at everyone and say, we are going to propose, we're going to settle this case with a revenue share. And you're going to get a share of media sales just like every other industry, including the NFL. And this thing goes away in no time. Same with college athletics, which is exactly what they should have done from the very beginning. you're right. Let's operate like the NFL, because the NFL operates, that salary cap, you know how it's set? It's a revenue share. It's something like 33.6 or 33.8% of designated revenues. Their argument is, as the money comes in, we're the show, we deserve a percentage of that. You know how the media business works? A revenue share model. So do the same thing with all the athletes who are saying, I want mine. Tell them you'll pay them 38%. We're going to take it a percentage point or two higher than the NFL, kids. That's right. Let's see. What did we do in ad sales last Thursday? Oh, my gosh, we did $2,000 in ad sales. So you guys are going to get 38% of that. That's how it works. The fact that people just stick their head in the sand and don't turn around and meet it head on is ridiculous. That's what led to stuff like this. They're not making any money. They're acting like they got a platform deal with NBC or Netflix. They got an app for a high school game that might make $500 a week. So, listen, get paid on you said you should get paid on revenues. You said you should get paid. You're suing to get paid for media rights. Most of you don't have any media rights. But kids, if you would like to value yourselves, just like the NFL, just like every other form of media, most of whom operate on a percentage of sales, you're going to get the same thing, kids. Mom and dad, I don't care how you want to split it up. Your son is going to get paid 38% of ad sales on the apps for his high school games. So what is the ad revenue? In some cases, it might be a little higher than this. In most cases, it's much lower. Give me a break. So let's just take an average, let's take a big high school. No, mid-level high school in the state of Texas, of which high school football is far bigger here than even California. So let's just say, what's the ad revenue on the radio or the stream? I'm going to tell you it's probably around $2,500. It could be as high, I guess, as $5,000. Okay. So that's what we're going to work with. You know, I mean, you guys said you want you want media rights, then we'll do it. Let's go. Say there's 55 kids on the team. Let's say we gave you 38%. That's a few percentage points higher than what NFL players get. That's pretty comparable to what large podcasts get. So you guys, let's see, if you had 55 players, I don't know, you guys might make about $25 to $27. Here you go. Now, we did a revenue share deal with you, but if we're going to treat you like pros, if we're going to treat you like the entertainment business, then here's the thing. If you're a 1099 contractor, then you got to cover the costs. So we'd like to get paid back for the uniform and the shoes or whatever else you got. Right? So if your take home each week is $25, let's see, the helmet, a newer helmet's what like $380? $385, I think. This a few years ago. So maybe close to $400. You're going to owe us money to play, jackass. I mean, you want to be a contractor, work on contractor terms. You cover the overhead, you keep everything else. So probably out for a high school football uniform, you're out $400. But let's divide that over a few games. So at best, you guys might make $3 each week. We'll pay you. So they got a class action lawsuit, high school athletes taking the exact same thing college football players have done and said, you know what? You guys owe me. I'm saying turn around and meet them head on and say, sure, let's do it. Judge, we propose a 38% split on media revenues for the high school athletes suing. Okay? Let's pay them. And by the way, we no longer cover the uniforms, we no longer cover the shoes, and we probably need to split the utility bill to keep the lights on. But you're right. Let's operate just like the NFL and other forms of entertainment. This thing, everyone would tuck and hide immediately. The same thing should have been done in college sports. Exact same thing should have been done. More money that's made, more money for you. You want 35 to 40% like the NFL? Come take 35 to 40%. Go ahead. I dare you.